today means a lot to us. So we are very grateful to have you here and your openness and curiosity to learn a little bit more about nature, forest bathing, Ayurveda wisdom, and our passions that we're going to share with you today. So I'll give you a little bit outline of this webinar and how we're going to lead it. So we're just going to go back and forth with Dr. Shantanu, and I'm going to begin with my personal story, then he'll continue with his personal story, and then I'll go into forest bathing and benefits of connecting with nature, and then he'll be sharing his teaching and his wisdom through Ayurveda lens. And then we will do a little guided meditation so you can taste a little bit of how it feels to have a forest bathing session. And then, yeah, you can ask any questions you have, and we'll share little tips you can take away with you. And that's it. Yeah, that will be it. So while I was preparing for this webinar yesterday, I came across this beautiful poem I would like to read for you. And I would like to ask you to listen to this poem with your heart. And if it feels comfortable, you can close your eyes gently or lower your gaze. So here how it goes. Nature is where I belong, singing with the birds, swaying in the breeze, in a space where I can breathe without any contingencies, where I can smile and laugh without feeling as though I'm taking up too much space, because I'm allowed to be myself, and nothing and no one is holding me back. I'm free, like an untamed wolf, like a crashing wave, like a blinding sunrise. I am strong, bold. I am unapologetically me. As I found this poem yesterday, I read it, it just hit home. That's how I feel when I'm in nature, just being myself without any mask. You don't need to be anyone, you don't need to pretend to be someone or be effective, productive, like all that kind of stuff we're doing on a daily basis. It just feels so free to be in nature. And well, let's begin with the introduction, because some of you know me and some of you maybe follow me on Instagram. So my name is Elena, and I am, first of all, nature lover. I love connecting with nature. I am a mindfulness and somatic coach. I'm also a photographer and videographer, and I love capturing nature through my lens and sharing the beauty of our planet with the world. And I'm very passionate about forest bathing, actually. Well, it's a fancy word, like we're going to talk about it more. But it's like connection to nature. I'm very, very passionate about it. And Dr. Shantanu, can you tell us a few words about yourself and your teachings and what you do and what you're going to talk about today, please?
So thank you so much, Arina, for inviting me and for this introduction, and especially for the poem that you mentioned. So myself, Dr. Shantanu Kumar Mishra. I'm an Ayurvedic doctor in India. I'm a medical astrologer. I'm a yoga acharya. I'm a nutritionist in India. So, and it's my seventh generation into this healing world, and that has motivated me to share my knowledge to the topics. And it's my, like, since past 2 years, I'm delivering the mentorship programs, the consultation related with the Ayurvedic astrology. And yes, I'm just trying my best to share the knowledge of Ayurveda, where like people they will have much more learnings about Ayurveda. And in this world, after the post-pandemic, we are aware that there's a requirement of alternative methods of healing, and the Ayurveda is can be the one of among them. So yes, I'm delighted for this webinar, and yes, thank you so much, Elena, for inviting me.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, well, we can't wait to hear what you're going to talk about today. Okay, let's dive in. And I need to know how to share my screen. So, would you like to go ahead and share your personal story, or I can begin and then you continue?
I think it's better that you should begin, and then I will share my knowledge and my experience to the topic, and then I will share my knowledge and my story as well.
Okay, wonderful. All right, I am going to begin. I just need to know how to share my screen. Uh, Sorry, guys. I'm not a very tech person. Laura, help me. How do you share your screen? Okay. Oh, I see it. Okay. I think I found it.
Option, you will get the option there for sharing.
Okay. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, now
Hmm.
we can see your screen. It's
Okay.
reconnected with the nature.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So I would like to start with my personal story and how I was connected to nature as a child, and how I got disconnected and how I found this connection back. So, and before I start telling my story, can you guys answer one question? When was the last time you felt truly connected in nature? And you can type it in the chat if you feel like it. And if you don't feel like it, we don't have to type it in. Just have the answer in your mind. And I just realized I cannot check the chat box for your answers, but that's okay. So, have you ever had a moment of feeling stressed and overwhelmed, and then just being few minutes in nature, you would feel completely at ease and worry-free? I'm sure you had one of those feelings, right? So I call this moment the remembering. It's that quiet shift when your nervous system begins to settle, when your breath slows down, and when you go from sympathetic nervous system to parasympathetic nervous system, when the noise inside fades, and suddenly you remember who you are. You remember that you're part of something bigger, something ancient and alive. You remember that trees aren't in a hurry, the sky isn't judging, and the wind does not ask for anything. It's not about doing, it's about being. And in that moment, nature holds you. And here's my little story. Um, And this is the picture of my daughter. I don't have many pictures from my childhood. So this picture I took actually this past spring when I went to visit my family in Russia. And when my daughter was playing on the beach, I just felt like transported back into my childhood. And I felt it was just me. She was running wild and free with her hair, with like the wind. And it was so beautiful to see her engaging with nature and just feeling free. And this is the place where literally I spent hours in my childhood. So anyway, I was blessed to be born on a small island in the far east of Russia. And this island is surrounded by the ocean and wild forest. So summers meant running bare feet on the beach. I just loved spending hours and my weekends on the beach looking for a beautiful shell or just gazing at the horizon. In the fall, we were mushroom and berry picking with my parents, like with the whole family. And in the winter, we did ice fishing, skating on lakes, um, building forts with my friends. Do you know, like the feeling when it is so cold outside, but you're having so much fun and you don't feel the tips of your fingers? That's how cold you are. I remember like those moments, but you don't want to go back inside because you know the minute you're inside, you won't be allowed to go outside. And oh, I just remember those days. I could also like bundle up. I remember like sometime maybe end of fall, beginning of winter, when the air gets fresh and I could just bundle up at night and go outside and spend hours gazing at the dark sky. And I felt like the universe was talking to me in those moments. Um, we also had a garden, so we were growing a lot of vegetables, herbs, berries. And as much as I didn't like working in the garden, weeding, and getting my hands dirty, I now think it was a blessing. It was so healing. And I was grounding myself literally all the time without even knowing it. Um, so that was my childhood. Like you can see like how much connection with nature I had as a child until I was 18. So when I turned 18, I moved to a big city to go to university, and that's how my nature connection began to fade. Then you're a student, you have a different life, you focus on partying and drinking and socializing and trying to fit in, trying to be like everyone else. And my nature outings were like very rare, maybe like once a month, twice a month, or nothing at all. Um, and then when I was in my mid-20s, I met my husband and we started our small family. And at the age of 25, I left Russia. So for my husband's work, we like travel we moved from one country to a different country, like we moved continents. So, and every time we moved, we actually lived in very big cities like Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, Paris in France, The Hague in the Netherlands, Perth in Australia. And that city life that is very busy, full of traffic, chaotic. So, and even though it felt like I was pretty good guiding my family, and educating everyone about healthy lifestyle, something was missing. I just felt it. Something felt empty. And I tried to fill that void with shopping, with buying stuff I didn't really need, just chasing for that, fleeting moment of joy and happiness. And of course, as you can guess, it didn't give me that feeling, the shopping. Um, and the next part of my life I called the turning point. It's when we moved from the Netherlands to Canada. So that's actually where my journey back home begins. That's how we call it, journey back home. And actually, I hated the place where we moved. The first 2 years, I really didn't like it. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is horrible. It's like too quiet. We have like two traffic lights. There's no traffic jams. There's like no chaos, no busyness. Like I was so addicted to like the chaos in my life and the busyness that I could not accept the fact that we moved to a small community and it's like super quiet. Like really, you can hear silence here. And we have bears walking on in town. Actually, that's how wild it is. Like we have beautiful mountains all around, old growth forest, and the ocean and the lake. Like we have all of it. Like incredible. But I didn't see it the first 2 years. So it took a while for me to really, love this place. And there was a point in our lives, a really difficult, actually, time for our family when my son had issues in the local schools. He was bullied, so we had to take him out of school, and you can imagine at that point, I just wanted to leave this place, to run away, not to feel the pain, not to have these problems. I just wanted to move away to something, like somewhere new, to start fresh. But I'm so happy we didn't. So happy we stayed. And I will never forget what my husband told me when I asked him, we need to move. Like, I can't be here. He said, you know what? You're running away from yourself. Like, that's not going to change anything. And as much as I didn't like those words in the moment, I so appreciate that he told me that. Something has shifted that moment. And I don't know. I just started to go out into the forest more with my dog without even like, any purpose. I just started to go out every day into the forest. And in the beginning, it was just walking, like just, okay, I'm just gonna take my dog for a walk and do a little round and do a little trail. But then I started to notice some shift within, like internally, how good I felt every time I was in the forest. Every time, just like even a few minutes being in the forest felt like, oh, I can let go of, all the stress, all the worries I'm carrying on my shoulder. And I always felt at ease. I always felt held. I always felt accepted. And and I call this finding I call this like coming home, but not a physical place, but really coming home within myself internally. And this is the feeling actually I had as a child, being connected with nature. And then, I got disconnected. And then I felt like I found that missing piece. So yeah, that's my journey of losing connection with nature and then finding it back. And maybe some of you here today feel the same longing. Maybe you want to slow down, maybe you want to reconnect and to feel whole again. So nature is here for you. It is always here for you. It is ready. And you don't have to move in the middle of nowhere. You just need to show up with openness and curiosity. And forest bathing isn't a technique. I call it, it's a remembrance. Um, okay, yeah, that's my story. And I would like to ask Dr. Shantanu to share his story. And um, just have to unshare the screen. How do I do that? Um, okay. How do I unshare my screen? How do I stop sharing, guys? Help me.
On the bottom, there should be the little green arrow share screen
Oh, really? On the bottom, I really don't see it. I don't have the bottom.
on your Zoom.
Hmm. me see. Oh yeah, here. Thank you, Laura. Okay. Okay. No. Do you still see my screen? Is it still sharing?
Yes, actually, I can see you. Now it's not off.
I'm out.
It's off.
Okay. So, Dr. Shantanu, please share with
Uh,
us your
Thank you.
teachings and
Thank you. Thank you so much, Alina, for sharing your story. And so it's completely wonderful, your experience that you have mentioned about the healing and the forest. There's a topic of our webinar. And yes, it was really nice, your experience. So I think now it's time that I should share my screen and my part. So just a moment.
Mhm.
Just a moment. Can you see my screen?
Not yet. We don't see your screen.
Just a moment.
That's okay. Technology. Mhm.
Now you can see.
I don't see it.
Just a moment.
It's okay.
So,
Take your time.
okay. I think now you can see my screen.
Mm,
Can
oh
you
yeah,
see now my
yeah,
screen?
yeah. Now we can see your screen. Yeah.
So this is our topic. That's okay. This is a topic, rebuilding the soul, the forest pathing, Ayurveda and the healing power of the nature. So in this slides, I'm going to discuss about the Ayurvedic view and the healing power of the nature, especially with the regards with the forest. So here we go with the Dr. Shantanu Kumar Mishra, myself. So we're gonna move to the next slide. So the topic is Ayurveda and the forest bathing. The Ayurveda is the science of life, which deals with the physical and the physiological as well as the spiritual well-being of an individual. So, in the Ayurveda, we have the 8 branches, uh, and among them, the one branch is the Rasayan Tantra, which is about the rejuvenating the body. So the forest bathing, the topic, is quite linked to the rejuvenating the part, which is the Rasayan Tantra. So exclusively devoted to the nutrition and the immunological rejuvenation and the genetics, was divided into 8 specialized branches. So in this topic, we are going to much focus about the Rasayantan, which is about the rejuvenation of the body. The word Rasayan is derived from the Rasayan Ayanam. Rasayanam is an Sanskrit terminology which means that the way of obtaining the good rasa is the Rasayanam. So now a question arises, why Rasayan is needed? The word Rasayana is comprises of 2 terms, as I've already mentioned in the last slide, the Rasa and the Ayanam. The term Rasa has many connotations. It is used for the juice, alchemy, taste, first, ras, dhatu. So usually our body, as per the Ayurveda, our body is comprises of seven dhatus, which is the sapt dhatu, starting with the rasa, rakta, mansa, meda, asthi, majja, shukra. So the rasa means is the body fluid. The rakta means it is about the blood. Mans means the fleshy, the meat part. The meda, which is subjected to the adipose tissue. Asthi is terminology which is subjected to the asthi part, and the maja, which is termed to the bone marrow, and that the last part, that is saptadhatu, that is the shukra, that is the gamete. So this all saptadhatu, it's essential for the obtaining of the oja, which is about the immunity. So for the sake of the immunity, require the rasayana, which is the oja, or we can call as a ojas. The word rasa in relation to the rasayana therapy means the rasa dhatu, which is the body fluids, and the ayana means the path of circulation. So the circulation is going to the through the heart. Thus, it can be said that the rasayana is related to the nutrition and its transportation in the body. In the fast moving world, our lifestyle has become very hectic. The stress is an escapable part of the personal and the professional life. In order to achieve the things for the better and the pleasurable living, there's a hardly any time for the exercises. All these factors are responsible for the vitiation of the dosha, because in Ayurveda we have three doshas, which are Vata and Agni, which is the metabolism, thus causing the improper nutrition to the tissue, the low immunity, fatigue, debility, inability to adapt to the stress, and premature aging. So the rasayana foods, herbs, and regimes has to reestablish this balance. So the rasayana is of various type, but with regard to this topic, we are going to much more focus on the kuti praveshika, which means the which means the individual should reside in the forest living in the isolation, and which can also boost the immunity or the ojas. So in this topic, we are going to much more focus on the kuti praveshika rasayana, or which is in the terminology we can regard to the forest bathing. So this is the reference in the Ayurveda Samhitas. Let's comes to the Chak Samhita. So here in this slide, we are going to talk about the type of rasayana, which is the kuti praveshika. So this is basically the indoor method of rasayan administration. As per the textual references, person with the made to stay in the specifically designed trigarbha. That means trigarbha means there is a three door of entrance chamber for the particular period, and the rasayan drugs was administered after the biopurification with the panch karma. So actually the five types of karma, these are therapeutical procedures in the Ayurveda, Vaman Virichan and Shiva Virichan, like that. So it's just five procedures, purificatory measures are there. And before to that, the Koti Praveshika Rasayan, that means individual is asked to go in the forest area and to reside in a particular design, which is known as the Trigarbha or the Koti Praveshika. So the individual is asked to reside in order to rejuvenate and to boost the ojas, that is the immunity. Along with the Rasayan drug, patient is also advised to follow the strict diet schedule and a specific code and the conduct of life. Thus, it is administration of Rasayan under the strict control condition. This is a superior method of administering the Rasayana, as the maximum benefits can be obtained from this. So, in after this slide, we're going to see about the structure of the Kuti Praveshika Rasayan, which is built in the forest area, and the main ideology is to get rid and to be the away of the all those social elements where people where the individual can reside and can boost. his or her immunity. So that is the main objective, to be away from this on unnecessary thoughts and the social elements. See a diagram about the Kuti Praveshika Rasayan and the three entrance ways. So usually type of structure is formed in the forest area with all those classical measures, and the individual is asked to stay with all those things, the required things, the food and all. And here the individual is asked to go for measure the panchkarma procedures, and after a certain time, let's say it maybe the 1 month, 2 month, or 3 month, as per the advice from the physician or the Ayurvedic physician. We are going to talk about construction Kuti Praveshkara Shrine, especially the forest area. The Kuti should be considered a good site inhabited by the king, the physician, the Brahmins, saints, and those who perform virtuous acts, and place were well ruled and freed from the disturbance. So usually the area was selected in the forest area where of the disturbance is the minimum. The Kuti should face toward the east or the north direction as per the Vastu, and it should have the three concentric doors. The garage, that means the doors through which a person can enter, and should be furnished with the narrow ventilator. Whatever the style, it should be in the such a way that there will be only minimum exposure to the light and the wind. The court should be surrounded by a strong wall, having a lot of useful trees and the medicinal herbs grown in the compound. So usually the ideology was to make the individual isolated from all those unnecessary things, and the purificatory measure, that is the panchkarma procedures. And with that, addition to that, the house for forest area, and those house were admitted particular individual, maybe the individual, maybe a patient or individual who boost his or her immunity. Now, talk about the Ramayana and
Oh, no. We lost Dr. Shantanu. Okay, then I'm gonna jump in and continue my presentation while we're waiting for him to join us. Sorry, guys. It's a little messy. It's okay, it's live. Happens. Okay, so there you go. Let's go into the forest bathing. What forest bathing is. Okay. So forest bathing, or Shinrin-yoku, is a Japanese practice that involves immersing yourself in the forest environment to promote physical and mental well-being. And it's not about hiking or exercising. It's not about getting from point A to point B. It's actually about mindfully engaging with the nature through your senses, through all your senses, like seeing, listening, smelling, touch. So when and how?
Alina,
Yeah.
actually there was some issue. I think I was disconnected, so I think I should.
Yeah.
I'm going to again share. Just a moment. I'm going to
We
share.
lost you, and I started to share the other part of the presentation, not to lose the time.
Okay, just a moment. Just a moment. I think there was. You have to close your slide, then I can start then I
Oh
can
yeah,
start my slide.
yeah. So I'm gonna close it. We're gonna come back to it
So
later.
extremely sorry, audience.
Okay.
Actually, there was some issue
Oh,
and I
that's
was
okay.
disconnected. I don't
It's
know what was the
connection.
reason. And
Sometimes it's a bit funny. Yeah. Okay, go ahead and share your screen.
Okay, just a moment.
Oh, I see myself on the screen.
Okay, so now we can see my screen. Hello, Elena.
Yeah, we
Can
can
you
see
see my screen now?
yeah, we can see your screen. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
gonna
okay, okay.
unmute
So
you.
in the last slide, I was talking about the construction of the Kuti Pravesh Rasakayana, and now I'm going to talk about the Rasayana and the Ojas. So the Rasayana Chikitsa, that is a rejuvenation, is the main medieval branch of Ayurveda. The word Rasayana means the way of attaining the ex Rasadi Dhatus. So the exact meaning of this Rasayana is the immunity boost. So usually the Kuti Pravesh Rasayana, it means that individual who is low with the immunity, the physician or the Ayurvedic physician asks the individual to go in the forest area where we have to construct a Kuti Pravesh, that means a small chamber of rooms as per the Vastu, and where like you will get all those desirable or the important things for your survival. And after and in those time, the physician will administer the purificatory measure in that forest environment, because the environment is free from all those the unnecessary things, and you are devoid of the mobiles and all those social elements. And then after the purificatory measure and this Kuti Parveshika, your immunity will get boosted. So that is the main objective, to boost the ojas, or ojas also called as the immunity. And how this OJ is developed? It is developed once you have the seven element, that is the rasa, as already mentioned, the rakta, the mans, the meda, the asti, the majja, the shukra, all those seven elements. After those seven elements, you will form the ojas. So if the seven elements are balanced, that means the immunity is the perfect. So the kuti pravesh rasan, or you call as a forest bathing, the main concept is to boost the immunity. So the resistance power of the body, which prevents the development of the disease, is called as the immunity or the vyadi shamatva. So it's a Sanskrit terms, vyadi shamatva or immunity. The ultimate aim of the Rasayan therapy is to correct the dosha disturbance and the improve the Agni and the Dhatu function, which overall perform the strength immunity. So usually the main aim of this is that the doshas are Vata, Pitta, and the Kapha. The three doshas are there, which are in the disturbed phase, and the Agni, that means the metabolism, and the Dhatu is the Sapta Dhatu. So the main aim is to correct the dosha, to correct the metabolism, and to correct the Sapta Dhatus. Oja has been considered as vital in the defense mechanism of the body. The modern aspect of the Rasayan therapy, the Rasayan Chikitsa means the rejuvenation therapy. It means to return to the youthful conditions, or to the normal from the disease state. The rejuvenation therapy helps to promote and the preserve the health and to cure the disease in the sick. The rejuvenation in the way to restore and maintain the fluids, the juiciness in our body. So it means that the rasa dhatus, that means to rejuvenate the rasa dhatu, and subsequently rakta, then the mansa, then the asti, then the majja, then the shukra. So that means balancing the sapta dhatus and the agni. That is the main concept. It is also increases a healthy person mental and the physical capabilities, and it is known to have the improved skin complexion and the texture, modulates the voice, and increases the sensing capacity of sensing organs. In this last slide, we are going to talk about the ojas and the Ayurveda. The ojas, the definition of ojas as per the Acharya Charak, the one who dwells in the heart and is the predominantly white, yellowish, and the reddish in the color, is known as the ojas of the body. If the ojas is destroyed, that means the immunity, the human being will also perish. The form in which the ojas is produced in the body of human being for the first time has a color of ghee. That means the Acharya has correlated its texture, smell like that. So the color is of ghee, that is whitish in the color. The taste is in the honey and the smell of the fried PD, or it's called as a slaja in India. As the bees collected honey from the fruits and the flowers, similarly, the oja is collected in the body by action, qualities, habits, and the diets of the human beings. The ojas, as I already mentioned about this, is the essence of saptadhatu, the seven elements. Is the rasa, which is the body fluids, the rakta, which is the blood, the mamsa is the meat, the fleshy part, the meda is the adipose tissue, the asti is the bony part, the majja is the bone marrow part, and the shukra, that means the gamete, that is the male gamete or the female gamete. So if in the complete sequence, that means the rasa leads to formation of the rakta leads to formation of mamsa, the mamsa leads to formation of meda, the meda leads to formation of the asti leads to formation of majja, and the majja leads to formation of the shukra. So it's a complete in the sequence. If there is a slight variation of the rasa dhatu, obviously it will lead to the destruction or ill formation of the rakta, or the improper formation of the rakta, and which can lead to the low of immunity. So for the conclusion part, in the Ayurvedic perspective, the forest healing, the forest path is correlated as per the Charak or the Samhita, is the Kuti Pravesh Rasayana, where the individual is asked to go in the forest area for a particular interval of time in order to heal himself or herself by forming a small chambered house as per the Vastu, and where all those purificatory measures are allowed to happen. And at the last, the individual is clean of the variation of the dhatu and the equilibrium of the sapt dhatu, and individual is healthy and has a increased immunity. So that is the main aim, to boost the ojas or to boost the immunity. So that is the main aim of the forest bathing as per the Ayurveda contest. So that is all from my side.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shantanu. Thank you. That was very interesting to listen to your story. And now I want to build a hut in the forest and live in the forest to heal myself. Oh, wow. Interesting. Very interesting. Thank you so much for sharing all of your knowledge. It was very interesting to learn a little bit about the connection with nature and the body connection through Ayurveda lens. So really appreciate your knowledge. And I'm going to jump to the next slide because the time is ticking. So now I am going to walk you through forest bathing and where it came from and how you practice it. So for forest bathing, or Shinrin-yoku in Japanese, is a practice that involves immersing yourself in a forest environment to promote physical and mental well-being. And it's not about hiking or exercising. It's about walking mindfully and connecting with nature through all your senses. So when and how forest bathing began? It started in Japan in 1980s as a way to help people to deal with stress and reconnect with nature. At the time, more and more people were living busy, stressful lifestyles in Sweden and spending very little time outdoors. And there was a phenomenon in Japan called karoshi, or death from overwork. and it had become a real public health crisis. So the Japanese government promoted forest bathing as a kind of natural therapy, encouraging people to slowly walk through forest, breathe deeply, and use all their senses to relax. And it wasn't about exercising or hiking, like I mentioned above. It was about simply being in the forest and feeling calm. So forest bathing started as a gentle healing practice, and today it's popular all around the world. So, and why forest? Well, because Japan is a very mountainous, forest-rich country, and over 67% of its land is covered in forest. And Japanese culture, traditions, and beliefs emphasizes the restorative powers of nature. And Japanese also see spiritual and aesthetic connection between humans and the natural world. And forests in particular hold a special place in Japanese culture, often associated with tranquility, beauty, and spiritual renewal. Since it was developed in 1980, it has spread through the world. And actually, nowadays in Japan, if you go to a general practitioner with signs of depression or anxiety, all they do is prescribe you forest bathing as a medicine. How cool is that? And forest bathing is also prescribed in health and wellness programs in South Korea, United States, Canada, UK, Australia, and many European countries, endorsed by healthcare professionals as a way to reduce stress, lower blood pressure, and improve mental clarity. So let's go and talk about the benefits of forest bathing. And again, I just want to mention when I was making this presentation yesterday, I realized like how we come into this world really knowing, like our body knows the wisdom of connecting with nature. And as a child, I didn't know all these fancy terms like grounding and forest bathing, and I didn't need to know all this scientific evidence. It just felt good to be in nature. It just felt good to be outside, and that's what I did. But nowadays we need a lot of evidence to be convinced to actually try it. So here we go: benefits of forest bathing. First of all, it reduces stress and cortisol levels, and there are quite some studies I found on internet that have been done. So when the groups of people came into the forest, their cortisol level was measured before forest bathing and after. And after a few minutes spent in forest, the cortisol level went significantly lower. It also improves mental health, reduces symptoms of depression, anxiety, and anger, enhances mood, vitality, and regular exposure to forest bathing linked with lower risk of psychiatric disorders. Like Dr. Shantanu mentioned, forest bathing boosts immune system. Actually being in the forest, spending time in the green area increases the production of natural killer cells in your body, and those cells are responsible for fighting infections and cancer. And actually, the interesting part, the effect of forest bathing session can last for several days after the exposure. It also lowers blood pressure and heart rate. Forest bathing sessions are associated with significant reduction in blood pressure and heart rate. So it also enhances cognitive function, and that is so true because being a photographer and videographer, I do spend a lot of time on the screen editing, and after a couple of hours, I feel like I need to get outside because I lose the focus, the clarity, and just my eyes get tired. So being in the forest helps you to, gain your focus back, the clarity of mind, to rest your eyes. And it's also actually very beneficial for children with ADHD and adults with high cognitive load. Forest bathing improves sleep. Participants report better sleep quality after forest bathing, potentially due to reduced stress and improved mood. So regular exposure, just 120 minutes per week, which, let's say 15-20 minutes a day, is linked to better overall health and well-being. So why does it work? The thing is, when we are in the forest, the trees emit compounds called phytoncides, and they are not good only for trees, they're also good for us. Like the minute, you step into the forest, immediately it feels good because you inhale those compounds and your nervous system starts to relax. You also use all your senses. You use your sight, the sound, the touch, smell, and it shifts immediately the nervous system into restorative mode from fight and flight into the rest and digest mode. Okay, so how do you practice forest bathing? It's very simple, very simple. So choose a natural wooded area, ideally a quiet forest, but if you live in a city, it can be like a park or a little lawn, anything with the green area or even just the one tree where you can sit next to a tree. It's better to leave your phone and camera behind or turn them off. I try to leave my phone behind, but sometimes I take it for pictures. So I just put it on airplane mode so I don't have any calls or messages coming through while I'm in the forest. And then you start walk slowly and really having no goal to be at a certain, destination. So you're trying to be present, you're using your senses, you're looking around, and it's good to like even bend down and look, what's there on the ground. Like really, like sometimes we just walk through without even noticing where we are walking. But if you bend down, if you look what's happening on the ground, it's fascinating. I can just spend hours in one little spot in the forest looking at all the little mushrooms and ants and little leaves and plants growing. It's like the whole different universe. And also don't forget to look up and see the beautiful canopy of majestic trees. Listen to the sounds when you're in the forest, whether it is wind or rustling leaves or birds. So use your ears to really connect to the environment, smell the air and the earth. You can also do a touch, connect to the forest through sensation, touch bark, leaves, soil, rocks, and spend at least 2 hours if possible. But I get it, it's a lot. Even if you spend like 20 minutes, that's better than nothing. And now I would like to do a little forest bathing guided meditation for you guys. So if you feel open to it, I invite you to gently close your eyes and first of all, take a comfortable seated position or lay down if you feel like laying down. And start taking slow, mindful breath in through your nose and out your mouth. Connecting, reconnecting with yourself and with your body. And notice With each exhale, your shoulders start to relax. Feel the wave of relaxation washing over you. Take a slow, deep breath in. And slow and long exhale. And I'd like to invite you, if it feels good, to bring in your mind's eye a place. It can be imagined place or real place. A place where you feel calm and safe. Maybe it is a beach or bank of the river or lake. Or maybe it is a forest with giant trees. Wherever this place is, start envisioning yourself in this place. And bring your awareness to the space around you. Notice the air on your skin. Is it cold or warm? Is it still or moving? Listen. Can you hear any sounds of nature? Birds, leaves rustling, the wind, maybe distant city sounds blending into the background. Just notice, no judgment, only presence. And shift your attention to your sense of smell. Is there a scent in the air? Freshness, flowers, leaves, damp soil. And if you don't notice the smell, that's okay. Just breathe naturally. And stay open to what is here. Deep breath in through your nose and out your mouth. Exhaling all the worries, and the thoughts. Now slowly open your eyes and without looking at anything in particular, allow your eyes to land softly on something natural. Maybe it is a plant, a rock, a shadow on the ground, a cloud in the sky, if you're sitting next to the window. And lock your focus on that object. Notice the texture, the color. Is it still? Or is it moving? And stay with it. Let your mind settle on this one piece of nature for a few more moments. Take one more full breath in. Exhale slowly. And allow a gentle smile to form on your face if that feels natural. And offer a quiet thank you to the space around you and to yourself for finding this time. And when you are ready, coming back to our shared space. No rush. Take your time. Beautiful to see your soft faces and your gorgeous smiles. I hope you guys enjoyed this meditation and got a little taste of how forest bathing can feel. Okay, I understand if someone has to go because we are getting to the end of our meditation presentation and we still have few slides to cover. I think it might be the last slide actually. So if you do need to go, feel free to jump out. And I appreciate you found the time in your day to be here. But if you can stay, it would be nice. So, how, like, if, okay, I'm very blessed to live where I live, and we have lots of nature around me. And just 2 minutes away, I have old growth forest. Like, this is insane. Sometimes I think, like, wow, this is so good. And it's like so accessible to me. But what if you live in a city like New York City, in the middle of, a big city with lots of traffic and not a lot of green areas? How can you practice forest bathing? And I have some tips for you. So it doesn't have to be the forest. You can find a park or a botanical garden. A lot of cities have botanical gardens, or even just like a really local park close to your house. Find a couple of trees or a lawn where you can do this practice on a regular basis. And it's all about, slowing down and tuning in and disconnecting from, the busyness of our modern lives, and disconnecting from our devices and just being with nature, with your senses and yourself. Like, where else can you use all your five senses? I honestly don't know. But when I'm in nature, I feel like, all my senses get activated immediately as soon as I step into the forest. Um, and the idea is really to, if you do a walking, walk slowly. If you do a sitting, you can just sit down and really focus on your breath and slow your breath down, getting out of that flight and fight mode into the parasympathetic nervous system mode, just calming your nervous system down. It's good to close your eyes if you're sitting down. Don't close your eyes if you're walking. Um, and yeah, like I said, focus on your breath and all the, sensations that arise in your body. Actually, sometimes when I'm in the forest, I feel like very heavy emotions and I cry and I see, because like that's the thing, we are running so busy and we are so stressed out in being stuck in the mode of doing and achieving something all the time, that we don't have the time and capacity to even feel what's inside. So very often when I am in the forest and I slow down and I allow myself, just to relax a little bit, to drop my shoulders down, and the emotions, excuse me, the emotions really come to the surface, and I can be very messy in the forest. Or there are also a lot of moments of joy, of course. So if you don't have a park, if you don't have a botanical garden nearby, you can create this space. Like, look behind me, I have plants. So I have lots of plants in the house, and I love, like my obsession, green plants. So you can create this place in your home. Like, if you have a tiny balcony, if you live in a city, you can create a beautiful forest on your balcony. Just buy a bunch of plants and, find a couple of rocks or wooden sticks, bring them to your balcony and create that space for yourself. You can also use essential oils. Like, I love this oil, and I know Laura has the same oil, forest bathing. Like, when I feel like I don't have time to go outside, I will just do, a couple of drops of this essential oil, and I smell it, and immediately I'm in the forest. Magic. And of course, when you are outside, try not to use, the technology. Saying that I was using my phone this morning on a walk just to record the video, but it's okay sometimes. And I like taking pictures. Being a photographer and not using my phone is really hard. So sometimes, I come into the forest, I use my phone for a few minutes to just capture the beauty, and then I just turn it off and I put it away and I enjoy the forest and this stillness. Okay, yeah, that's about it from my side. And Dr. Shantanu, would you like to share anything, maybe yourself, maybe some practice you can give us to take away? Oh, oh yeah, he's here.
Uh,
Sorry, he's not here.
so, th-
So we lost
uh, thank you so much, Elenia, for the wonderful slide presentations and your experiences that you have mentioned about the knowledge that you have about the forest bathing. It was really recommendable, and definitely learning from your side. And I tried my best to give an overview about the Ayurveda forest bathing. So usually it's not a new term in this Vedic culture. It comes from the roots from the saints. It's very quite ancient that because in India we have certain stages of the life, and where the acharyas has recommended individuals to go and to be quite close to the nature. And this Ayurveda is all about getting much closer to the nature, because the medicines, the combination is all made up from the herbs which are obtained from the forests. So usually the ideology that comes directly from the forest, the yogic science and the spiritualism of ancient this Vedic culture that comes from the side of forest itself. So yes, it's quite old practice in India, and I have tried to give an overview about this through the Rasayan theory, which is the Koti Pravesh Rasayan, which means that the individual is asked to go in the forest area to construct a certain a small chambered house with the certain materials as per the recommended by the Vastu, where the fish is also there to look after you, your food habits, and all that. That means that you are quite closer to the nature through the purificatory measure. And yes, this is the Ayurvedic side of the forest bathing.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. And I think for everyone, it will be like a new dream project to build a hut in the forest and go live.
Actually, yes, yes. If you think about this Indian culture or this Vedic culture, uh, usually now today also, like whoever wants to attain the immunity, that the main aim of this certain thing is the rasayana, that means the Kuti Pravesh rasayana, is to boost the immunity.
Mhm, mhm,
So you can't prevent yourself from the diseases. The other method is to boost your immunity. That means it can combat with certain diseases factor. So that's the main
yeah.
objective of this Rasayan theory, to boost the immunity of the individual.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, I agree. Like, even there's so many studies. Like, if you go into the forest and you spend a certain amount of time, your body starts producing these, natural killer cells that are fighting the viruses and cancer. Like, that's incredible. That's so cool. And I was going to say something else, and I can't remember. Uh, so anyway, I would like to respect time of everyone's being here, and it's Sunday for a lot of people. So, and we are a little bit running over time. So I hope this webinar was useful. I hope you learned something new, and I hope you could slow down during our meditation and feel the sense of calm. It's always within you. Oh, we lost Dr. Shantanu again. Excuse for the connection. He's from India, and I guess like it's not very reliable, the internet connection there where he's calling from. But we covered it all, and I hope you, yeah, learned something new. I'm so happy you could join us today. Happy to see your faces and meet you finally, some of my people who follow me. So good to meet you guys. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or evening or night, wherever you are in Pakistan or in Canada, New York. Have a wonderful day and always remember nature. We are nature and it's always within ourselves, just one breath away. And if you don't have opportunity to go outside, just slow down and reconnect with yourself and find your way back home. Thank you so much for being here. Love you
Thank
all. Thank you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye. Bye bye. Okay. Bye, guys.